Okay, let me welcome everybody. There we go. My screen just popped up. There I am. Okay, good. So let me do a quick sound check. Yep, we got sound. Okay, we're good to go. All right, welcome everybody to the T350 show this week. Good to see y'all again. So we'll let the audience build a little bit before we get into our show this week. We're talking about muzzle brakes and muzzle devices this week. Last week we talked about handguard selection, how to choose a handguard for your rifle. What do you look for in a handguard? What are your requirements? What are your needs? What are your wants? All that kind of stuff. And if you missed that show, you can check it out on YouTube. It's been posted to YouTube. And it's still on the, if you scroll down through the BYOAR page, you'll find it there as well. So last week we had free shipping on all of our handguards because we did a show on handguards, and this week we're doing a show on muzzle devices. So we got free shipping on all our muzzle devices, even our little $14 flash hiders and the inexpensive stuff. You get free shipping with promo code free shipping. So you go on and order anything you want on there, and as always, you get free shipping on anything over $125. But on the smaller orders, you can use free shipping from promo code free shipping this week and get free shipping. So if you like our shows and you enjoy watching our shows, like them and share them. Help us build the audience. We've been getting a pretty good influx of people coming into the architect group this past week. I think in the last week we've had probably 30, 40, 50 people that have come on board with that page. So welcome all the new people there. So like we did last week, we talked about handguards and how to choose one and why to choose one. This week we're going to do the same thing with muzzle devices. I don't have a representation here of all the different kinds of possible muzzle devices. There's literally hundreds of them out there. I'll go over a few of the basics, and we'll talk about some of the other ones. But what is a muzzle device? It's an attachment, screws onto the end of the barrel. Obviously, does a function for you. It mitigates recoil. It mitigates rise. It doesn't suppress sound, but it can if you have a suppressor, obviously. But flash cans can direct that sound downrange away from the shooter. Flash hiders bust up the flash and mitigate rise. All these different things have a different function, and you got to decide what it is you want out of a muzzle device. What is your intent with the rifle? What do you want? What are you looking for? What do you want it to do? So the basic A2 style flash hider. You can see this is our version of the A2 flash hider. We've done something a little different with it. We do have the 5 standard ports like an A2 flash hider, but inside each port there's 4 individual holes. The ports don't go all the way through, but the holes do. So you end up with 20 ports instead of just 5. And this thing does a fantastic job of breaking up the signature, and it also does a great job of mitigating muzzle rise. That's really what you're looking for out of a flash hider, is to bust up the flash. This is a very inexpensive muzzle device. Like I said, ours sell for $13.95. It's kind of the industry standard when you buy off-the-shelf AR. Especially some of the budget models, they're going to have an A2 flash hider on it, and it's one of the things that most guys, right away they want to upgrade. But these do, for what they are, they do a fantastic job, and I'm very proud of ours. We've done some night shooting with these, and these bust up the flash really well. And I'm going to get out one of these nights and do a live video and show you just how well these things really bust up the flash. And they do a great job of mitigating muzzle rise as well. When you get the A2 flash hider on your gun, like I said, usually the first thing someone wants to do is upgrade. Muzzle brake is probably the first place that most guys go, getting a muzzle brake of some kind. There are a ton of different muzzle brakes out there, and Mitigating recoil and rise is what you're really looking for out of a muzzle brake. The felt recoil in your shoulder, now a 223 doesn't have a whole lot of recoil. Putting a muzzle brake on a 223, is it necessary? No. It's cool. It looks good. And if you're doing competition shooting where you really want to stay on a level platform, you're doing time drills and a quick follow-up shot. If you miss a target and you got to hit that target again and you got to hit it fast, having that gun rise up and having to come back down and try to acquire the target again, that extra second or two that you're gonna waste there is everything in time drills. So using a muzzle brake that has recoil mitigation and rise mitigation, so this is our kind of standard 4-chamber muzzle brake, and you'll see there's some nice size holes in the top. There's nice walls. So what happens is when you shoot the gun, the hot gases come out of the end of the barrel and they force themselves against these walls instead of just going out and expanding. And the natural inclination is that when those gases expand and that boom happens, your gun wants to move back and away from that. So you end up with that motion where it kicks back into your shoulder and it rises. When the gases expand against the walls of a muzzle brake, those gases push on the front wall and it counteracts the force of coming back. So the gun doesn't want to pull away from your shoulder, but it just wants to mitigate the push back into your shoulder, the recoil. It lessens that or mitigates it. So and you'll notice, as the bullet passes through, most of your gases are going to hit this first wall. As the bullet passes through, it sucks some of those gases through with it. They buffer into the second wall, and so on and so forth. 4 chambers, do you really need 4 chambers? Probably not. By the time you get to the 4th one, it's really not doing much. We have a nice 2-chamber brake as well. A little more expansion, a little more little wider expansion chambers, but the same amount of wall, that you buffer against. These mitigate recoil really nice on the 223, and they got, the ports in the top, the gases come out the top, and they mitigate rise. So you get a nice level shooting platform. When you fire, instead of doing this, you get this, and it gives you much quicker follow-up shots. There's a ton of different styles of muzzle brakes. We stock them in black nitride. We stock them in stainless. This is a customer of ours, Grendel Hunter out of Minnesota, and he's got a real nice muzzle brake, and he's got a sloped handguard that he matches with this, and his chambers in his handguard have the same angle, so he has a real nice matching look that comes with his handguard and his muzzle brake. And these are very effective muzzle brakes. He stocks these in 223 and 6.5 Grendel. So if you're looking for a nice muzzle brake, he's got a really nice one. We have 308s, we have 5.56s. This is a customer sent me this. I wish you could feel it. It's made out of titanium, and this thing is super light compared to a steel muzzle brake. It's half the weight. Now it's going to be 3 times the cost, if not more, of a steel muzzle brake. But man, the weight savings is incredible. It's just incredible how light this thing is. So, I like a muzzle brake that doesn't sometimes go all the way through, doesn't let the gases escape out the bottom. That also helps mitigate rise. If it doesn't have ports in the top to push the gun back down, then you want to look for something that the walls don't go all the way through, and that helps keeps the gases from coming out the bottom and brings the gun back on level. It wants to push the gun back down on level. The one drawback to muzzle brakes obviously is the sound. You're getting all that sound, you're getting all that concussion, you're getting all that blast back at you. Hey Russ, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. they're nice, they do an effective job, but they're loud. So if you got a pistol application, you know, this is our 4-chamber thin model on a rifle. Cool looking little piece. Is my 350 Legend with a nice little, this is a muzzle brake from Talon Tac Ops. It's got real nice big holes in the top, so it mitigates rise really well. And, you know, the ports are a little small. It does a good job of mitigating recoil. Not as good as some with bigger ports can do, but this 350 doesn't have a whole lot of recoil. It's not a recoil monster. I'm more worried about rise with this gun than I am anything for, you know, I'm deer hunting with this, I'm hog hunting with this, and I sometimes need a quick follow-up shot if I miss. So, you know, mitigating rise is a big deal when you're looking for a hunting gun, a hunting application. Like I said, the drawback is that these things are loud. If you're going to use your AR or your AR pistol as a home defense weapon, a break might not be a good idea. You shoot a break inside of a 10 by 10 room, you shoot a braked AR inside of a 10 by 10 room without hearing protection, and you're going to wish you hadn't. Your ears are going to ring for a while. It might cause irreparable damage or irreparable damage to your ears. So that being said, what do you want to do for your pistol or your home defense AR is some kind of flash can. So they make some really cool ones, you know, that the muzzle, you know, the muzzle brake actually fits inside, and the flash can screws on the end of it. You know, we have a standard flash can. It's just a straight through thread. No muzzle brake goes over it. You know, no compensator goes inside of it. But these are really nice for mitigating sound and pushing all the blast away from the shooter and away from the people next to you at the range maybe. You know, this is a 8.5-inch pistol with a flash can on it and a 10-inch handguard. And, you know, and I really love this tucked look. You know, tucking the flash can inside of the handguard. I just think that is the coolest look. This is an 8.5-inch barrel with a 10-inch handguard and your 2-inch flash can, you know, leaving just a little bit sticking out. This thing is really nice. It's still loud. It's still kind of obnoxious, but it's not unbearable. It pushes all the sound downrange and away from the shooter. So if you're going to have a AR pistol or an AR for a home defense weapon, I would recommend putting a flash can on it so that if you have to shoot that thing in a closed area, it's not going to damage your ears. So our flash cans, we've designed them to be slim for slim handguards. So, you know, they fit inside of our 223 handguard. It fits inside there real nice, so you can tuck in any of the handguards that we make. And in fact, our 308s, we designed those the same way. This is a 5/8 24 thread flash can, a little thicker. You can see the difference in the thickness of the aluminum. Zoom in on that a little bit, and you can see that you know, there's quite a bit of difference of thickness in the 308 model. Okay, that's more pressure in the bullet, more powder. You need to be a little thicker. You know, a 308 might blow this can apart, but it won't blow this one apart. And our 308s, you know, they tuck inside there as well. So if you got a 12.5-inch 308 barrel, 3 of the 308 pistols are getting real popular. You put a 308 12.5-inch on there, put one of these on there, and you put a 13 or 1450, even probably a 14-inch handguard would be about the max, but you can tuck our flash can inside of any one of our 308 handguards as well. And I'm just really partial to that tucked look. You know, it's again, I go back to like I said last week with a handguard. You know, get your gun, shoot it for a while, figure out what you like and don't like. You know, if you've got the money and you got the time and you want to wait and you're want to get a suppressor, you know, you can do a Form 1. I believe it's probably a little longer now with all the stuff going on in the world, but I know before coronavirus, and all the unrest. Form 1s were 6, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. A lot of guys were getting their Form 1s back for a homemade suppressor. The Form 4s were even coming back. I've heard 8 or 9 months. Obviously most of them are a year. They tell you a year, but I heard of guys getting them back in 8 or 9 months. You submit the paperwork and get your permit to have a suppressor, and then you can go get your suppressor. Silencer Co. and some different companies have kiosks at a lot of the gun shops. You can go in and do everything right there on the kiosk. They'll take care of all the paperwork for you. Everything, you pay all your money right there. You get submitted. They'll hold your suppressor for you until you get your paperwork. And once you get your paperwork and your permit, your stamp, you can go get your suppressor. I'm toying with the idea. I've been wanting to play with one for a while, so I'm toying with the idea of submitting some paperwork and getting one for myself. Just because I want one. Why not? Right? We're gun guys. We love our gadgets. But shoot your AR, have some fun with it, figure out what you like, don't like, shoot your buddies that has some muzzle brakes on it, get on the different forums, ask guys, what they like and don't like in a muzzle brake, or a flash can or a flash hider, whatever it may be, for your different applications, what is it you want to do. Just try out a bunch of different stuff and figure out what it is you like and don't like, and then, you can buy whatever you need. And then, like I said last week, if you switch out parts and you don't have any use for them anymore, you can always sell them, or you can donate them to Russ at Marksman for Vets. He's always glad to take gently used parts for his rifles that he builds for disabled American veterans. In fact, that reminds me, I was talking to Russ just a couple days ago, and we sent him a handguard for his latest build, and he's looking for a recipient for the rifle he's working on building. So if you know a disabled American veteran who needs a rifle, wants a rifle, and doesn't have one, can't get one through circumstances, whatever, work, money, however, you can submit to Russ an application for them to be considered for a Marksman for Vets build, and he's got a cool one coming. He's got a cool one coming up. We submitted a nice one-of-a-kind handguard. It was a prototype that I made just to see how much bling I could put on a handguard. So the handguard that's on the rifle that he's working on right now is truly a one-of-a-kind handguard. It's really cool. So if you know a disabled American veteran that needs a rifle, wants a rifle, and you can submit, catch Russ here on the BYOAR page or the Architect group. He's in here every week. In fact, he's watching right now. Just commented a couple of times. He'd be glad to take an application and get a rifle to someone for you. So that's all I got this week on muzzle devices. Don't forget about the deal this week. Free shipping on any of the muzzle devices. Promo code free shipping. Just type it in when you're checking out, and you'll save $7.50. The flat rate shipping for any item under $125. Obviously, if you spend over $125, you get free shipping. And if you spend over $125 and you still want a deal, hit me up and I'll give you a special promo code to save you a few bucks on top of it. So that's all I got this week. Thanks for joining me, and remember, you don't have to be an expert to build your own AR. We're here to help you. You don't have to be an expert to maintain it or upgrade it. We're here to help you do that. Hit us up, hit the guys up in the group, and we're always glad to help. So we'll see you all next week. Thanks. Bye.